I go!
Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here again, back with another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 video, but this time it's a build video, because I haven't done those in a while. You guys actually liked the last build video a lot, and to be fair, it's been way too long since the last build video, so I thought I'd bring you something that I feel like people would find really cool, and maybe that they would like to use a lot. Now again, I will save this. I don't gather the Dragon Balls to change my stats with this, because the stats I have for my male Saiyan, I feel like they work pretty much everywhere. I feel like you can always get, like, some... It covers all bases. Again, you need to have summon health because you don't want to just be a glass cannon. You can have 0 in Ki, that's fine. Ki is probably the least important stat. Although for this build, it's very important, but I'll go into how I can counteract that. 42 in stamina is 1 extra stamina bar, and I don't need, like, you know, 8 or 12 or how many stamina bars that you always see online to make do with what I have. And again, QQ bangs can help with that a lot. Now, as a Saiyan, I feel like, if you don't want to agree with me, that's fine. But as a Saiyan, I feel like you should invest in your best stat. Your best stat is basic attack, and even though you do the most damage, your DPS is going to be lower than a male Earthling using basic attack, or like, I don't know, a female Earthling, a female Saiyan, or a Frieza race using Ki blasts. So you want to invest in at least basic attack, because honestly, you're kind of lacking in the other department, so you need this to at least stay the highest. Got some points in strike, because naturally we want to use some strikes every now and then. And my Saiyan is max weight and max height. So max height helps with my health even more. It makes me slower, but hey, helps with my health. And max weight helps with my basic and strike. The only reason you want to be skinny is for Ki Blast supers. But you literally lose 2 other damage types, so I don't know how useful that is. And max Ki, because yes, I am a max weight, and there's so many Ki supers in the game, I want to use them all. So we have to have lots of points in our Ki supers. That's how I run things. If you guys, you know, don't agree with that, that's fine. I'm alright with that. But now we will move on to the skill set. Yeah, let's move on to the preset. Let's talk about that. So these moves are on the presets for well, let's just go into the QQ bang first. The QQ bang actually helps with my Ki, stamina, and health, I believe. It has -1 in basic attack, which is fine. Level 6 QQ bangs are just hard to farm anyways and then make. I'd rather not. I'm sure all of us can agree we'd rather not spend so much time to try and get those, so I'm fine with this. Ki is very important, and this helps counteract the Ki issue that we would have suffered from my 0 Ki build. And the stamina can now, like, you know, it's good enough to bring online and, like, take for a spin. +5 in Ki supers isn't really something I would desire in this build, honestly. For this build's sake, I would say if we could get a +5 in basic, that would be way better. So, you know, just imagine there was a 5 where the -1 was, and then the -1 can go where the Ki Blast and strike is. For the sake of this build, a +5 in basic attack would be far more essential, but I couldn't get that. Again, QQ bangs are really hard to make, especially level 6 ones, because you have to do a certain type of mission that you can only get if you speak to a guy that's right near the entrance, and there's no other way to get it. And then you have to, like, do so many parallel quests. It can be a chore. Now on to the moves. I think the moves are the true saving grace and help explain furthermore how you can really, like, perfect this, like, Super Saiyan Blue evolution, I guess. Now we'll start with Do or Die. Do or Die is there mostly because, one, it's a pretty decent escape move. It gives you super armor while you're starting up. The only time you can really be hit is just before the pulse happens, I believe, or just after the pulse happens. And you don't get the buff until, like, the entire animation is done. So you can actually be caught with your pants down with this. But luckily, a lot of Xenoverse 2 players aren't very aware. You might be able to get away with Do or Die. And the main reason you want to have it on is because, one, it's a good escape move, but mostly it's damage reduction. Now, the damage reduction isn't, like, the most insane thing ever. And I can't really test this right now because Super Saiyan 3 has damage reduction. And I don't recall if Super Saiyan Blue or Evolution Blue had damage reduction. But either way, taking less damage would be very ideal, because Super Saiyan Blue Evolution's main kick, aside from the massive stat benefit you get, is that your stamina recovery is on fire. And speaking of that, we should go on to the Super Soul. Now, the Super Soul I have on is Zarbon Super Soul. I think you can actually get this in a parallel quest. I don't believe it's a raid exclusive one, but it's a parallel quest unique to the newest DLC. So that should be DLC 12 at the time of this recording. The Super Soul always increases your stamina recovery by XL, and when you use the transformation, all of your abilities get a small boost. Again, a small boost, whatever. If that wasn't even there, that'd be fine. Just having stamina recovery being that high over time is crazy. In my opinion, it should actually be nerfed so that you need to transform to get this buff, but that would just mean that potential unleashed people would be... I mean, well, everyone's already using potential unleashed, so it's not like anything would change anyways. But yes, the Super Soul is just extremely good. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as something as Thank You Dragon Balls or anything stupid like that, but that's not for the sake of this build. That's if you're trying to, like, you know, play meta or cheese someone. And I'm sure you didn't click on a build video so you could cheese people. I'm sure you clicked on a build video because you want to just have more fun at the game. So yes, massive stamina benefit from that Super Soul. Do or Die gives us damage reduction, so we can benefit from the stamina even more. If we get caught slacking, the damage reduction will help keep us in there while our crazy stamina regen from both the transformation and the Super Soul kick in. Focus Flash. Now, Focus Flash, it might be a mistake for me to put this move on, but bear with me. The main purpose of these super attacks, like the actual ones that are genuinely attacks, is that they need to be quick. You don't want to spend too much time doing them because your ki is just burning. Your ki is like literally like melting in place as you stay in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Now, Focus Flash is mostly just here for its damage, because while its animation is quite long, it's a very reliable move. There's a lot of evasives that don't really get you out of Focus Flash, and even if someone instant rises out of Focus Flash, if they instant rise before they get hit, the recovery on the move isn't that long. And if they instant rise after they get hit, they're most likely still in the attack. So, and I use instant rise in this example, because that's like the best evasive in the game, like by far. Burning Shot. Burning Shot is a super good strike super. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like got crazy damage or anything, but you can pretty much combo off of anything, including Focus Flash. That's very important for this video. It's got incredibly quick startup, and a knockback on it is reasonably long. In fact, a knockback on it is so long, I don't think you can combo anything in the game after Burning Shot, because it sends people quite far and quite fast. And the main reason for why I'd want that is so you can actually use the fourth super attack, Divinity Unleashed. Now, Divinity Unleashed, it might be a bad option here. I'm sure some people are going to say, oh, Steed, you can replace that with Burst Charge. And fair enough, there's a lot of things you can actually replace with this. A good example is one of the ultimate attacks I will get into later can actually replace with a much better one, and it's a Strike Ultimate, so I know you guys already know what it is. But Divinity Unleashed is ideal here because obviously, if you charge up 1 bar of ki while using Divinity Unleashed, you get a huge buff to your ki regen. You also get slight buff to your stamina regen, which is super good because, yeah, anytime you punch someone, you're going to gain so much ki that's going to actually counteract the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. And you having even faster stamina regen is just ideal. You just want that. You just need that. Here is the ultimate attack, Burning Strike. Now, Burning Strike could definitely be replaced with Justice Combination, just due to the fact that Justice Combination is literally like one of probably the top 2 ultimates in the game. But the reason I went for Burning Strike here is that Burning Strike can be used from any range. So if you're, doing a knockback or something, maybe you finished using Focus Flash or Burning Shot, and you want to finish the enemy off, instead of having to fly up to them and then hit them like 2 times before you can finally use Justice Combination, you can just use Burning Strike immediately. Now, if you still want to use Justice Combination, that's fine. It's just a much easier and safer move to use, so feel free to do that. Second ultimate attack is Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha. Now, there's a lot of ultimate attacks that should have honestly been here, but the reason I went with Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha is that the whole point of this build isn't actually supposed to be that we're using, like, our moves to wither people down. It's supposed to be, we've perfected Evolution Blue, we're staying in it as long as possible, so a quick ultimate that does all of its damage as soon as it possibly can is just more beneficial. It's an ultimate that's very hard to punish, it comes out very quickly, and it doesn't waste a lot of time, so that way, your ki just isn't draining while using an ultimate attack. You don't want to use something like one-handed Kamehameha, where you do all the backflips, and then like your ki is still draining the whole time you're doing that. That could be quite annoying, so Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha goes here. If you guys think Warp Kamehameha would be better, that's fine, because Warp Kamehameha was actually the other thing I was recommending, but because it uses 4 bars of ki, you don't want to risk that. If anything, I probably won't use my ultimates the whole video, because the whole point of the build is to just show you can leave Super Saiyan Blue Evolution on as long as possible. So that's the plan here. Obviously, your Awoken skill was Super Saiyan called Super Saiyan Evolution. It should just be called Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, whatever. Or just Blue Evolved, whatever. But the evasive skill is Spirit Explosion. Now, while I think Instant Rise is way better, Spirit Explosion actually combos very well into stuff like Burning Shot. And Super Explosive Wave is also pretty good, because it has a huge radius and it can combo into a crap ton of things, actually. Super Explosive Wave is probably the other thing I'd recommend that is not Spirit Explosion. But if you just want an evasive that's going to work 100% of the time, Instant Rise. Instant Rise is literally always the best. But for combo sakes, you can use Spirit Explosion and then go into like Burning Shot or something, right? And after that, the enemy will get knocked back and you can have another Divinity Unleashed pop off. So hopefully, if that all goes according to plan, then you should be able to stay in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution for as long as possible. Now, the hard fight is obviously getting the key for Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. You do need 5 bars of key, and a lot of people in this game are very aggressive. If you're lucky, you'll end up with a timid person who might let you actually get away with that, but they'll also be spamming like key blast cancels and all that stuff, so it won't even be easy to hit them. Either way, just wanted to show off what's actually on the build, and now we will go into the fights. So, yeah, I'll see you guys, I don't know, later in the video.